our next guests are from Jigsaw. We have Mike and Joe. How are you keeping?
Hi, how you doing?
So tell the good folks what Jigsaw does.
So Jigsaw's a youth mental health service with people for people with mild to moderate mental health issues aged between 12 and 25. To put that in like normal terms,
Yeah.
it's for anyone who's going through something that isn't going to take years and years of therapy that's like really big issues. It's for the kind of smaller goal focused things, like if I'm going through exam stress or I've just gone through a really rough breakup and I'm starting to feel down and I can feel myself getting there, I can go to Jigsaw and kind of hit that before it becomes a big problem.
Exactly,
In a lot of cases, it can be like a few small things will build up, and a person would feel like maybe it's not something that they can
anxiety stuff.
Anxiety would probably be one of our highest percentage issues at the moment.
So I actually work in the field as well, but I'm on the other end of where you are. Speaking of, I suppose, anxiety and how to get over that, is there any kind of advice for people out there that might be at home with that anxiety that maybe coming talking to you would do the job? But there's anything, I know with anxiety sometimes getting out of the house can be the difficult part. What is your advice for people
definitely
like that?
We've got plenty of advice. We have a concept called the 5-day for your mental health.
Okay.
So everybody knows about your 5-day for your veg.
Yeah.
We've all got that down to a T.
Nice.
With the 5-day for your mental health, it's small things that you can do that you can kind of take off the list. Will give you something to focus on. So things like connecting. So that doesn't mean like that can be talking to somebody, a professional or a parent, but could also be just picking up the phone to a mate or interacting with your online communities. Which is something that we
I think a big thing about it is talking about like day-to-day things, not to be holding it in and just express yourself. I think that's a very good what people should be doing.
And in Jigsaw, we definitely promote talking. We feel like young people are very willing to talk, but it's all about having the right person to talk to.
Exactly.
And it's about having what we call your one good adult.
Yeah, someone that'll listen.
Somebody who's really willing to listen. So listening for us is huge. Listening for us is something that we spend a lot of time out in the communities. Not just talking to young people going through a tough time, but actually speaking to everybody. We all have a responsibility to look after young people's mental health. And if you can be one good adult in someone's life, somebody that stands up and says, like Mike is part of our youth advisory panel, he is standing up in front of all of his peers saying, I care about mental health. I am somebody that you can speak to about your mental health, and I'm not going to judge you. And that's really important.
100% right.
That's perfect. So I suppose the con here today, how are you finding the actual convention?
I think it's great. In terms of the actual being there itself, I've been to a few conventions before, and oftentimes they can feel very packed, like you're very claustrophobic, whereas there's a lot of people here, but you can still walk around and stuff, and we're getting a lot of interaction with the stand, which I'm absolutely loving.
What set you on this journey to start Jigsaw and to promote mental health?
Myself personally, my brother was involved with Jigsaw back when he was around 16, and I knew that it existed, but I didn't really know a lot about it.
Yeah.
Then when I was his age, a friend of mine introduced me to Jigsaw, told me what they're about, and I'd gone through my own struggles, and I thought it was really important, knowing that this service was there.
Yeah.
I realized that people needed to know, because I didn't know about it, and I really could have used that in my times. So I just wanted to make sure other people did know, and I could do as much as I can to help get that message out there.
Yeah.
And in terms of why we're at Insomnia this weekend, so we have found in the last couple of years that a lot more people are coming to us with gaming ideas as fundraisers.
Yeah.
So we had a crowd from NUI Manus last year who did a 12-hour stream and raised nearly €4,000.
Wow.
And we were just completely blown away because as fundraisers, you know, we hadn't really thought about gaming as an avenue for raising funds, and then we started researching some of the big charities in the US and the UK who are raising millions from live stream events. So we're here doing a bit of research more than anything, with speaking to the gaming community and seeing if there's an appetite for it in an Irish
100%
context.
think there is. Ourselves, we did one last year, and it did hit it. 24-hour stream, and we raised nearly €2,000.
Yeah.
So it does work a lot, and I think when you're going away from here, you're gonna be saying yes.
I think so. I think the early indications are that yes, there's an appetite for it, and it's nice for us as well because a lot of our fundraisers are very sports focused. We do a lot of cycles, we do abseils. They're all really adventurous, and I feel like we're kind of missing out on a whole community of people who are really generous and who have a lot to give. And I think
as well it probably hits home to a lot of the gamers as well that they probably need help with their mental health, and they see like it'd be great to promote promote Jigsaw to them to give them a little bit of an outlet if they need it. So
like
it'd be
I
great.
found even people coming to me in the gaming community saying that they have, you know, an issue, whether it's anxiety or depression, and it can be, like, gaming can be the best thing in the world, but if it's regulated and if it's done.
Yeah, it can be very. You can be very. You can seclude yourself a lot if you just continue the game all the time.
You hear gamers that, you know, they lock themselves away. So what we do as a community is we try and bring everyone together, allow a space for people to talk, and not just about mental health, but about games as well. But just to have that open floor for people, and that's what we built our community on. And it's been a good place. Like, we try and stay positive and.
Yep, that's it. That's what it's all about. Positivity, no negativity.
Toxicity and all that bad stuff. So where does Jigsaw go from here?
Exciting times.
I suppose the next thing from here is taking that research we've gotten from here, taking what we're going to assume is that very positive feedback and saying, okay, let's get something off the ground. Let's get an event organized where we can get people streaming or playing in tournaments, something like that, and organize these events.
100%. I think it'll work very well. Like, from our own side, from even Ronan done his own thing like the last year. The gamers are very much probably need a bit of help with their mental health, and they're great for everything.
Yes, I started a campaign called Awareness Through Gaming, and it wasn't just about mental health. It was about all invisible disabilities. And it was very well received. I mean, it's growing slowly, but again, it's kind of connected with the Republic of Players, and it's that breakaway if you do need to come and get that space for help as well. So, I mean, I'd love to work with you. I think you're doing absolutely brilliant stuff.
I think there's definitely an opportunity there for us to work together.
Definitely.
You know? We'll come back on the podcast once we have
how big is the team that you have at the moment?
So I suppose we probably have about 140 staff and then 140 volunteers across the country, and we're everywhere from Letterkenny down to Tralee.
That's right, I'm going tonight to take it home past Letterkenny.
We're opening 2 new centres next year in Wicklow and Tipperary, so we're really, really excited about
brilliant.
that. But something a big, huge development for us this year is our digital mental health space, so Jigsaw Online.
Your online presence.
This is it, because I suppose all of our research that we do is very evidence-based and it's very youth-led. So young people are telling us, you know, you need to be where we're at, and where they're at is online. So we've developed an online platform for mental health, so that if you say, for example, we don't have a service in Mayo. So if you're in Mayo and you can't get to a Jigsaw service, what do you do? And we wanted to make sure that young people in Mayo somewhere to go. So at the moment, Jigsaw Online is like a bank of information, and it's articles and videos and different types of content depending on the person looking at it. But we are currently recruiting clinical staff, so we're going to have a service next year where you can instant message a mental health professional.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And that's something that we are so excited.
That's what sometimes I think you need, is something instant. Sometimes you're fine, and then you're not, you know, and you need someone in that space of time. It's not an everyday thing. It's just maybe you need it just then. You know, that'd be great if you had something instant for people to.
That's it, and it's about just going to young people where they're at.
Yeah,
and that's amazing. We can't expect young people to feel that they can just walk into a service and go through a process with us. A lot of young people can. We saw about 6,500 young people in our
Sometimes
service.
a lot of people wouldn't want to do that. It's either
really hard.
They'd rather have it just kind of a disconnect a little bit. Maybe it'll bring them closer to.
This is the thing. Sometimes it will bring them down a journey where maybe they will come in, or maybe it'll kind of work with them enough to alleviate the problem.
And speaking of the centres, what goes on in these centres? Is it just a space to come in and chill? Or
So the hubs, as we call them, they're placed around the country, and what happens there is you can call up, you can make an appointment where you say kind of briefly why you want to go to Jigsaw. So, for example, I have exams next week and I'm nowhere near prepared and I'm freaking out. Not me, thankfully.
You're well prepared.
But then you talk to the administrator and they organise that appointment, and you'll come in and you talk to what we call a clinical support worker. I think titles in the process are changing. And they'll kind of help flesh out what you want, because it's very goal focused. You know, like I said at the start, it's not something that is going to be going on for years. It's usually 6 to 8 sessions.
Something that's happening today.
Exactly. So once you figure that out, then you'd go, like I said, 6 to 8 sessions, and you'd work on that, and at the end of it, you kind of come away from it, hopefully, at a much better place.
Or if you need more help, they'll give you more help,
I think the beauty of our hubs is that they don't feel like a clinical space. They feel like more like a youth space, and that's down to the likes of Mike and the youth advisory panel, who would have advised on, okay, have this type of furniture, have this type of lamps, have this type of stuff on the walls, and like what we're finding now is that young people are feeling like, well, okay, I have to go for my session now. I'll bring my mates in; they can use the Wi-Fi. And and that's like, we love that. We really encourage that, because we do try and, where possible, where we have the space, create a kind of a waiting area where even if you're just waiting for a friend of yours, there's enough information there for you that you can.
It's important to go in and get them to feel comfortable. I work with the National Learning Network.
Oh, brilliant.
I'm sure you heard of them. And we find that outside, nobody knows what we do, and once they step inside the door, it's like, this is the most normal place in the world, you know what I mean? And people can come in and relax. And I think that's important, especially for young people. I'm an instructor in the National Learning Network, and I teach kind of an older class. But I think definitely with young people, they need that, whether it's online or to go into a centre and feel relaxed. And I even think that is a huge step in the right direction for them. Somebody that's home with anxiety and with that mental health illness.
And it's really important to us that all the hubs kind of look and feel the same as well. So they're very consistent. So if you go into Mike's hub is in Tralee, and if you go in there, and then say if you're from Tralee and you might have visited a Jigsaw when you're in kind of secondary school, but you go to Dublin then for university, and you feel like, oh, maybe I need to go to Jigsaw again. If you go into Jigsaw Dublin City, it looks and feels
exactly like you're going to the same one.
The same. And it's to kind of.
And we'd have people like coming in to visit you after to say thank you, and I'd say that it's very rewarding that you help them when they need it.
We're getting to the point now where people are coming back now to work for us.
That's unreal.
Like, you'll get people, and like you were talking about your own story, that you find that people that get through that area in their life and defeat that illness, that they actually want to help people that have been in.
I'm sure they tell if their friends are going through it, they'll go to Jigsaw. They helped us. You know, it's brilliant. As long as you be seen more, and the cons like this, and like again, the partner with them is brilliant, and get to see like people get to know more about you.
Well, that's it's all about getting the name out there.
Because 100%.
Once people know the service is there, that's the main thing. Because it'd be a real shame if the service was there, person needed the service, but they didn't know it existed. You know?
I think in today's culture with young people, I think like maybe partner with streamers and stuff would be a very good opportunity for you. Like if they have, like on Twitch and stuff, you have at the bottom when you scroll, there's links you can click. So like if you had it and the streamer said, oh, if he's not feeling the best today, click the Jigsaw and see if there's a unit around you. I think that'd be a good idea for you going forward.
Let's do some introductions there.
That's it.
I think what you're doing is absolutely fantastic, and the fact that you are trying to help young people, it's just a brilliant thing to do. Where can the good folks find you if they are at home and they want to chat with you?
So the old social media. We've got our Facebook, Instagram. Do we have Twitter?
We have Twitter.
We have Twitter.
We have LinkedIn.
I'm not a
LinkedIn.
I'm not a Twitter man myself, but
either am I.
But if you just look up Jigsaw or Jigsaw YMH, you should find us. All those.
YMH.
And Jigsaw.ie.
Jigsaw.ie. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for the interview.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
John, Mike, great to meet you.
Thanks.